In this video, I'd like to introduce you to one of the most incredible and unforgettable experiences I've ever had. Something that could only take place in Rio de Janeiro. Be sure to stick around till the end for a bonus tip because I'm going to tell you where to get all of the information you'll need to plan for your trip, plus some safety items. But for now, I'd just like to give you a feel for what you can expect if you attend Carnival in Rio. All right, let's do this. In late February of 2020, just about a week before the pandemic grounded us all, I had the incredible opportunity to visit Rio de Janeiro during the week of Carnival. Now, just to clear one thing up from the get-go, Carnival can be spelled two ways. Carnival with an I, and Carnival with all A's. And the second version is simply how they spell it in Portuguese, which of course is the official language of Brazil, so you may see it spelled both ways throughout this video and in your other research. Rio de Janeiro, or simply Rio, is located on the southeast coast of Brazil, just a bit north and east of the industrial capital of Sao Paulo, and it has a population of just under 7 million people. You're probably aware that it's famous for both its Copacabana and Ipanema beaches, the 38-meter high Christ the Redeemer statue, which is high atop Mount Corcovado, and for Sugarloaf Mountain, a large granite peak complete with cable cars to its summit. The city is also known for its sprawling favelas or shanty towns, which I actually didn't get a chance to visit. Carnival, featuring unbelievable floats, flamboyant costumes, and incredible samba dancers of all ages, is considered the world's largest. I've done a fair bit of travel in my time, but I've never seen anything quite like Carnival in Rio. I had an absolute blast at this all-night spectacle, which started around 7 p.m. at the Fairmont Hotel on Copacabana Beach, where I have several good friends who work and were able to have me tag along at the hotel and in their exclusive suite at the Sambódromo, the facility where the Samba School competition finals take place in something called the Winners Parade, which reunites the champion and 5 runners-up, celebrating victory and closing the Rio Carnival Samba parades. The whole celebration ended around 6 o'clock in the morning and was simply out of this world. Words cannot express what it's like to actually be at the famous Sambódromo in Rio to see this event live, so I'm going to keep the voiceover to a minimum and let the video I shot there do much of the talking. So here it goes. Leading up to the Winners Parade are various blocos, which are less formal and free-to-attend street parties where tens of thousands of people congregate to dress as wildly as possible, drink, dance, sing, and simply have a great time. Petty street crime at these extremely crowded events can be a problem, and I was told several times by my local friends not to even take out my phone for pictures or video, as it's so easy for someone to snatch it out of the crowd, never to be seen again. I'd recommend bringing a minimum of valuables and/or to choose a device such as the silicone smartphone strap that isn't fail-safe but certainly can help. I'd recommend going out with only what you absolutely need and can afford to lose. But to protect yourself, be careful of drinking too much and make sure you have deep and zippered pockets to keep any valuables you do take. For all the official information you'll need to plan your trip and purchase your tickets, be sure to visit the official site of Carnival at riocarnival.org, spelled with all A's. Here's a bonus. Some of the other things I did during this scouting trip was to take a cooking class with an incredible local chef named Simona Almeida of Cook in Rio, which is located just a block off the world-famous Copacabana beach. I'll put a link to their website in the description below, and be sure to watch the video I made about my experience at Cook in Rio by seeing the card above. If you've been to my channel before, then you know one thing I love to do everywhere I go is to participate in a locally guided foodie tour, and I had a chance to do just this in Rio. This was a really fun way to see a part of the city I probably never would have found on my own, and also to meet some fellow travelers as well as a number of extremely friendly food vendors along the way. And I also took a wonderful boat ride with Luis and Pedro of Let's Go Sea. Check out some of these clips. Just a few last tips. Bring your own drinks to the blocos. Don't consume anything offered to you by strangers. And finally, WCs or bathrooms can be hard to find, so do plan ahead. All right, question of the day. Have you ever seen a spectacle like Carnival in Rio? Have you ever been to Brazil? Go ahead and put your answers in the comments below. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed this video about Carnival in Rio, and if you did, please share it with other great travelers like yourself. You can also let me know that you enjoyed it by giving it a big thumbs up, and check for a link in the description below to get a list of all my upcoming tours. And remember, drifters, life's too short not to travel.